Welcome to Faith on Film. I'm Isaac Hernandez.
I'm Holly McClure.
And we are here to keep you informed on everything that's happening in the world of faith and family entertainment. How you doing, Holly?
Well, doing great. I'm excited about the show today. We have a very famous author with us.
Yes, we do. In fact, she has co-written almost 100 novels or short stories. She's also the #1 New York Times and USA Today best-selling novelist, and is also a speaker that every year speaks to about 1,000 people. Or no, 100,000 people.
Who is she, Isaac?
She is Karen Kingsbury, and she's here today with her son, Tyler Russell, who apparently co-wrote the series that we're going to talk about today.
And we're talking about the movie 1,000 Tomorrows, which people can see behind you. Going to be on Pureflix, so all of you can watch it. And the star of the show is going to be with us, and her name is Rose Reid, and she plays the character Allie Daniels. And guess what? We're going to get to talk to her. In fact, there she is.
Rose, welcome to Faith on Film. Man, it's so exciting to have you here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Now, I got to tell you, I just recently moved to Texas a couple of years ago, and I've become very enamored with the whole cowboy thing. In fact, I'm about to go to a rodeo here pretty soon. So this was exciting for me to hear about this new series that's coming out, starring you, of course. Can you tell us a little bit about it? Because I know it's very cowboy and cowgirl themed.
Absolutely. Yeah, so 1,000 Tomorrows is a 6-episode miniseries that's based on a book by Karen Kingsbury. And it is this really exciting rodeo romance where this barrel racer, which is a very highly competitive sport, meets a bull rider, which is also a very highly competitive and very dangerous sport. And of course, sparks fly, they fall in love. It's very cute, but there are some complications. It's very grounded in reality. It's very inspirational and aspirational. It hopes to provide some sense of hope, some sense of assurance that even though, you know, you might find yourself in a situation where you think that there's no way God can heal me here, he manages to heal you. And that's one of my favorite things about the show.
You know, Rose, I live outside of Fort Worth, and so I've been to the rodeo in Fort Worth.
Wait, hold on.
It's so much fun to go to the stockyards. I love it. And you know,
oh my gosh,
to see the bull rider. Huh? Have you been there?
I grew up in Fort Worth. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm in Weatherford. So if that gives you an idea. Yes. And so going to the rodeo, I have to tell you, I hadn't been for years, but I went with my son. He was in town and he goes, "Hey, let's go," because we were on dinner down there. And I go, "Okay." It's exciting to be in that rodeo environment and to see the bull riders and to see all that. Was it fun for you in this movie, being in that? I mean, I know you're making a movie, but still, was it fun to be in that environment and that element?
Absolutely. So my mom and I actually grew up rodeoing and doing kind of the same stuff. And we loved the Fort Worth stockyards, and it's always been such an exciting place. And so, yeah, being able to film a TV show where we were, you know, participating in the rodeo events and everything like that was really crazy. You know, most of the things that we did looked like a real rodeo. And if you just filmed what was happening in the arena, you would be like, oh my gosh, this is a great rodeo that we're watching, because our stunt doubles were incredible. The bull riders that they brought in were just brilliant. And, you know, the only difference I think between a real rodeo and what we were doing was that the stands were empty unless we were filming that way. So it was a really unique experience.
Now, you did say sparks flew, so that means that this technically then is a romance kind of a series, right? Even though it's all about bull riding and you know, your horseback stuff, but it's really a romance, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's a romance between Allie Daniels, which is my character, and Cody Gunner, which is Colin Ford's character. And it's really cute. When I first read the novel before I even got the role, I was just in love with this romance. It's so wholesome. But it still manages to be exciting and new and fresh, and it was just so much fun to film.
And that is important, by the way, because there's so much out there right now that is romance, but it really is highly sexually charged and just not good for families to watch. And it's great to see a show that really is going to be family oriented. Holly?
No, I was going to say, you know, Colin said he learned a lot from playing Cody, his character. What does Rose learn from Allie playing your character, if anything?
Oh my gosh, I always love this question because I don't think there's ever been a single role that I've taken that I didn't learn something. So I feel like I learned so much from Allie. it's always so interesting going onto a set, taking on a new character and kind of taking on their flaws, but taking on their strengths too. And something, you know, one of Allie's strengths is that she is just incredibly brave. She's incredibly hopeful, incredibly optimistic, and she wants to protect those around her, even though she is hiding a secret that is pretty difficult to hide. And it's a challenge for her in her everyday life. She manages to continue to uplift those around her. She's only worried about making sure those around her, know that she's safe, know that she's okay, and that they all have a good time too. And that's something that really struck me. And I think I've learned a lot from her. And I really want to emulate that in my own life and make sure that I am just as considerate of those around me as Allie was around, or as Allie was with those around her. Sorry, I'm getting tongue twisted here.
Well, now this is, of course, is a faith-based series, correct?
That's right.
Okay. Now, so did you grow up in the church? Are you a person of faith?
Absolutely. I grew up kind of Southern Baptist. My mom is what I would consider Messianic Jew. And so we have there's very different styles of faith in our home. But I think it's beautiful because I get this Western perspective from the Baptist church, and I also get this Eastern perspective from my mom. And so I feel like I had a really beautiful faith upbringing, and I was so excited to be a part of this project.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's very different faith upbringing. I don't think a lot of people, but the Jewish Messianic Jew and the Baptist, that is a really interesting.
Yeah. I like how she said kind of Baptist.
Kind of. Yeah. I love
it. We were in the Baptist church for a little while, and then my mom decided that she wanted to do her own like home Bible study. And so we ended up doing our own home Bible study. So that's why I say kind of, because we were there, but it was for a short time because my mom was like, nope, we're doing a home Bible study.
Mm.
Now, I'm not hearing you mention Dad. Did you grow up in a single parent home?
No, I didn't. I'm a big mama's girl, but no, my dad's wonderful. And he actually...
Was he the Baptist?
He was the Baptist. Yes, that's correct. He was the Baptist. So he was a very strong leader in the house, very strong man of faith, which I really appreciated. They have a really great relationship now, and they've worked out how to, because they're very different faiths. And so that's something that was really unique and really beneficial for me to learn from growing up, how these two different faiths were able to coexist. And, they both are following the same God. And I think that that's beautiful. And so I learned so much from their relationship, and I'm really proud of how they've been able to make that work.
You have not only done this project, but you've done other projects. I was reading where you were in a project, I think it was Finding You with Vanessa Redgrave. Did you have a chance to be with her and scenes with her?
Absolutely. Yeah, I had a lot of scenes with her. That movie is definitely one of my favorites that I've ever worked on, particularly because of her, because she was just such a joy to work with and a legend and an icon when it comes to acting and film. She knew things that I don't think any other actors know. She just was so experienced and really just a legend, and was so kind to everyone on set. I really can't say enough good things about her.
Thank you for saying that, because I've loved her for years and years and years, and I was hoping she was a nice person. She looks like she'd be the kind of go, oh dear, and she would take you under her wing and under her arm, and do that. So thank you for saying a good report. It's fun when you're an actress, for you, especially your age, because you're growing up with all different age demographics of people who have been in the business for years and years, and then newcomers. So I always love to talk to the younger ones to say, have you gleaned anything or learned anything in working with these projects?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've learned so much, especially, from the older generation who came before me and kind of paved the path for me to even be here. So I feel like every single time I walk onto a set, I'm learning something new. I learned things from Colin on this set. I love that aspect of filmmaking.
Now, I read in your bio that you said that, of course, you love reading and writing, and you consider yourself a secret nerd. What?
Yeah, it's not a secret anymore.
What do you mean by that? It's not a secret anymore. Yeah. I'm sorry. Did I just let it out?
No, it's fine. It's in my bio. I forgot it was in my bio.
You let it out.
You let it out. What do you mean by that?
Well, I'm just a big book nerd. You can't even see the extent of my bookshelf here behind me, but I'm a massive book nerd. I used to have a book blog that I have since taken down, so nobody go try to find it. But I used to have a book blog, and I was obsessed with reading and reviewing the books and critiquing the books. And so that's kind of what got me into film, was because I knew that I loved storytelling. I was obsessed with storytelling. And my parents would say that, you know, part of the reason that our home Bible study got shut down was not because they weren't enjoying it and it wasn't going great. It was because I was bullying the children into being in my like home movies and stuff. so I figured out that's kind of how I got my start in acting, was because I was just so obsessed with storytelling. I'm such a nerd when it comes to books and things like that. I am technically supposed to be done with college, but I'm still taking classes because I like school. I'm a little bit of a book nerd. I'm an English nerd. So that's where the nerd comes in.
Well, speaking of reading and speaking of books, how is it working with the author of this book?
Oh, it's been so much fun. You know, I've gotten to do a few book to film adaptations, and this is the first series that I've done. And so I really wanted to meet with Karen before we got started, before cameras were rolling. But honestly, we moved so fast that it wasn't possible. But I did get to meet her recently, and she was just such a gem. I was so excited. I always fangirl a little bit because I'm getting to meet the person who, you know, wrote these books that I was like, oh my gosh, I love this book. It's so cute. And so I did fangirl a little bit. I hope she didn't really notice, but I guess now it's public information. So
pretty sure she was probably flattered that the person that's starring in her film, you know, adaptation of her book is the fan, because, you know, you want that. But she's written so many, and she's got such, you know, Karen Kingsbury, by the way, we should mention her full name. I just thought it was interesting you saying you're a book nerd, and then to be able to be in a movie of someone who's a major prolific writer. I don't know, what an honor.
It was so exciting. I was so honored to be a part of it. And still, book to film adaptations are my favorite projects to work on.
And speaking of projects, what else is in the future for you?
So I just wrapped on a project at the end of the year called The Futurist, and that's my first writing project. I wrote the script for that, and I had a very small role in that. So I'm really excited to bring that hopefully to audiences this year. Mm-hmm. I'm working on a science fiction film with Angel Studios, who brought everyone The Chosen, and working with them right now. We're going to wrap here in a couple weeks, maybe a month. I need to check my schedule. But that's been so exciting, so much fun. I've loved working with them. And then I have another project coming up this summer that I can't really say much about yet, but I'm very excited about it and can't wait to share more when I'm able to.
Well,
on this, the science fiction film, was Joth Riggs on that project?
He sure is. I love Joth. He's the first AD.
We've had him on our show, and we love Joth. We've had him on here. That's why I wanted to ask you, you know, and we love, in fact, probably several people from that project. And I'm a friend of his. He's been posting on social media saying it was an amazing project to work on. So I just wanted to ask if that was the same one.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm going to tell him I saw you and met you.
Yeah. He was on Holly and Isaac's show, Faith on Film. He was. And in fact, he was just at Capernaum Studios working on a film last summer, which is where I also work outside of Weatherford with Capernaum Studios. And he did a film project there. So small world.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome. It is such a small community. I love that. That's one of my favorite things about this community.
Rose, next time you're in the Fort Worth area, I wish you would call me up. I'd love to come to Stockyards and take you to dinner and meet you, and let's have some fun.
Yes, let's do it. Well, I always come to Weatherford because Teskey's is there. And I'm always trying to go to that Teskey store.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay. You have to look me up and let me know. And I'd love to take you out. I'll take you to Capernaum Studios.
And make sure you get her on a horse. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's hop on a horse.
Well, so listen, how can people follow you so that they can learn all about your future projects, especially the one you can't talk about right now?
Well, you can just follow me on Instagram. It's just my name, and I post a lot of horse stuff there because I do still ride horses, and that is my hobby. Post a lot of horse stuff, a lot of random film stuff. But yeah, I would love to meet you guys there.
Fantastic. Well, thank you
I'm definitely going to follow you. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, likewise, Holly.
Thank you for being with us. You know what? We're going to go to the trailer of this the series so people can kind of know what it is we're talking about here. And then when we come back, we're going to have none other than, guess who? Karen Kingsbury.
Thanks again, Rose.
Thank you, Rose.
Thank you, guys.
We'll be right back.
How do you know it's real?
Peace.
He came to give us peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the three-time champion, bad boy, Cody Gunner.
You heard him.
Cody Gunner. Saw you ride tonight. You were good.
You have no idea how good being angry makes me.
You have just witnessed history. That is a 13-5-1 for Allie Daniel.
What Dustin did out here is so bad for you, honey. Everything's bad for me, Mama.
Miss Daniels? Allie, right? The barrel racer.
Yeah, that's me.
You ever seen anyone so pretty on a horse before?
Are you chasing me, Cody Gunner?
Well, that depends. Do you want to be chased? Come
on. Really, Allie?
What?
Did you what me? I saw those eyes at you.
Is this really something? You and Allie?
Why do you ride angry?
My dad, he left when I was 11. My brother, just 3. Why do you ride sick?
My sister, she was sick too. I didn't want to live like that, you know? Locked inside, too safe to really live.
That's how you look when you ride. Free. That's the perfect word.
Thank you.
What makes you believe? How do you know it's real?
Peace. He came to give us peace. I like being caught by you.
Allie, you're my reason to breathe. Let me be yours.
Well, after that exciting trailer about this amazing movie that we've already been talking to Rose about, we now have the woman who's responsible for writing it, and I guess the man as well, Karen Kingsbury and Tyler Russell. Tyler and Karen, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
we're so
thanks
excited.
for having us. This is great.
Okay. I don't think I've ever interviewed Isaac. Have you a mother and son team who've written a book and done the movie and have other movies? This is exciting, you two. That you're doing.
Husband and wife has been it.
Has been it. Mother and son, you're the first.
That is cool.
So, okay, now that you've seen the movie, I have to ask, is it different when you're writing a book and then you see the movie and then are you disappointed? Are you happy? Was it better than what you thought it was going to be?
Okay, so now this is the whole, mother-son thing that we have to bring back because I wrote the book a while ago and loved it. It was always one of my favorite love stories, an angry bull rider and a sick barrel racer, and a love that never should have happened between the two of them, the faith that draws them together. So I loved the book, but in the last, it was about 1.5 years ago when Sonia Firm came to us and said, we would love to see 1,000 Tomorrows as a television series on Pureflix. I mean, I said, well, as much as I would love to write them and I love screenwriting, I was so busy with my deadlines and I knew there was just one screenwriter literally in the world that I would want to work with, and that was Tyler. So, it's at this point because we've done this now. I mean, we have a movie on Hallmark that we wrote together, and then we've written another TV show that hasn't been picked up yet, but we're working on. So we've just done a lot of screenwriting together. And it was like, I said, Tyler, if you have time, then let's do this. And he did. So he kind of got to do the first draft. And what we see on screen is exciting. It is fulfilling because it's our hearts on the screen.
So, Tyler, this isn't your first rodeo then? No pun intended.
I see what you did there. No, it's not. I mean, I've been learning from the best, growing up under Mom and seeing how she's an incredible storyteller with a great heart, so creative. And then I did a bunch of writing and creating in college and after college, and it's just something that I'm continually growing and working at. And so to work with her on this was an incredible experience, and I think Pureflix did a fantastic job bringing the story to life.
And as from a male perspective, Tyler, what did you lend to it that maybe your mom said she wrote it a few years ago, but in seeing it play out, did you add any extra touches or extra things that you're seeing on the screen?
Yeah, I mean, I did. I think, I love the book. It came out in 2005. It's an incredible story. But I think things that I added, I added some friends for Cody, some of that camaraderie and brotherhood and someone to bounce ideas off of. And then, I have 4 brothers. And so I had a strong connection to brotherhood that Cody has with Carl Joseph. And I think my perspective as someone currently who's single, who's looking for a wife, relating to Cody, who has his eye on this girl, Allie. And so I think that there's just different perspectives that I brought to the story, and hopefully made it fresh. And
yeah, definitely. And Tyler he brings humor as well. Like Tyler understands energy need in a film. That it's I could write a whole scene, a chapter of somebody talking on the couch with someone, and it would be gripping. But that wouldn't be gripping on a screen. So Tyler is so good at understanding energy and flow. And we actually just opened here in Kingsbury Productions, and we were able to do a movie called Someone Like You, based on my book, Someone Like You, and Tyler directed it. Yeah. He's in the editing room. I mean, he just gets it. So I'm honored to work with him. That's how I'm so thankful and blessed. And
it should be coming out in October. So the cut's looking really good. We have a screening coming up in LA next week, and it's very exciting. It's a truly beautiful film. We got some amazing actors and great.
So we're gonna have to have them back on very soon. Holly.
Very soon. Okay, I want to know, looking now that the book and the series is coming out, and you've already seen some scenes. Okay, Tyler, what's your favorite scene that you're seeing on the screen? And Karen, what's yours? What were you happy about on page that you've seen on the screen now?
That's a great question. I mean, I think for episode 1, one of my favorite moments is in Cody meets his mom and brother at this diner, and she's trying to tell him that his dad wants to reconnect, and his anger flares up again, and she's like, "Don't be angry, Cody. It's not helpful." And he says, "You have no idea how good being angry makes me," because he thinks that anger is what makes him a champion. And the way that Colin Ford acted that scene, I just think he totally nailed it, and it was so fun to see that moment come to life.
I have seen that first episode, and I totally remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's great.
I love that. That was a very, very powerful moment. And the interaction, the chemistry between Carl Joseph and Cody in that scene, it's sort of established as the beginning of their relationship for the viewer. Yeah. Super important. I think for me, Rose and her mom in the trailer at the end of episode 1, Rose was did such an amazing job acting that scene. Allie is mysterious to Cody, and part of that is because Rose does such a good job in acting that. But I think that scene with Allie and her mom in the trailer, where they're talking about life and how she is having a low moment, Allie, and she's saying, everything is bad for me, everything. And her mom reminds Allie, God gave you life. And it's a gift. And really, in many ways, her mom is asking her to step away from rodeo and just live. And Allie is going to show us that to live is not to step off the field and get on the sidelines, but to live it full on.
Oh, I love that. How many episodes are there? And people can watch this on Pureflix, correct?
So we have 6 episodes in the first season. So I think for the next month or so, we'll be seeing episodes coming out.
Yep, every Friday, and then they'll live there, which is like any streaming service. So but people can get that 7-day free trial and see the first 2 episodes on Friday the 24th. And then every week we'll have an extra, episode coming out. And then I've also additionally done a 10-minute piece, a Bible study kind of teaching piece to go with each episode, and a Bible study. So that all will be available as well on Pureflix.
I love that. So then that's first season. Has it picked up for any more, or when you say seasons, is that it then?
Well, we don't know. I mean,
right now it's 1 season. There's I have 3 books in the series, so we'll see.
Well, that's exciting.
Tyler, I'm curious about something. Now, your mom is, of course, a New York Times best-selling author. At what point did you kind of go, I think I might be able to do that as well?
It's some of my earliest memories, honestly, is writing stories, telling stories. In elementary school, I entered a short story competition. It was a national competition, and I won. So I think God gave me a gift of storytelling as well, but I had the best mentor. And I feel like what my mom did really well was she balanced everything really well. She always put her faith in her family first and then work. I never felt like we were an afterthought. And I just thought, well, look at her. She's doing all of these amazing things. She has a great family, and she's an amazing storyteller. I want to do that too. So I was writing stories or plays or movies to have my siblings act in. And it's just something that I always dreamed I would do. I just never thought it would look like this. And I'm so thankful that it has.
So between writing and directing, now that you've directed, is there one that you like better than the other, or is it equal, or is it this new passion now that you're going to be the director?
Oh, I mean, I think directing is definitely a top passion for me. I love directing. I studied theater and directing in college, and like I said, made all my siblings and cousins be in plays that I would direct. And so I think directing is one of my favorite ways to tell stories, and writing is just an incredible outlet for that, I think.
Yeah, I feel really honestly that a year from now, 2 years from now, people will say, "Oh, Karen Kingsbury, isn't she the mom of that famous director?"
So nice.
Tyler is so talented. Like, I wouldn't have had anybody else direct my first movie, and it has just been. The movie is beautiful.
Very kind.
Yeah.
And in doing just real quick, in doing a rodeo, did either of you get on the horse at all?
No.
Tyler's been on horses.
I have been on the horse. I have not conquered the bull riding, but
yeah, no, not so much. It's much more of a better. We enjoy doing that, like kind of virtually and viscerally, kind of like from just the writing perspective.
And I mean, Pureflix did such a great job. If you watch the TV show, it's kind of like you're there riding the bull.
It is. And I just moved to Texas a couple years ago and have since started to really like the whole cowboy thing. Haven't bought my boots yet, but that's next. But I do. I'm getting ready to attend the rodeo here really soon. Very excited about it.
Very fun.
And I was telling Rose that I live outside of Fort Worth and I go to the stockyards, and she's been to that rodeo that we've been. So we were relating how much we all enjoyed this whole new Texas life and the rodeo. So we're in it for you. We're excited. This was great, you guys. I'm excited to talk to you about this, and also please come back and talk about your future film. You said, when is it going to be released? And you think the director one you just directed?
Yeah, we're doing, for someone like you, we're doing a test screening in LA on March 8th. With Screen Engine. So we're going to be talking with distributors after that. It's testing very, very well. Yeah. So that's exciting. So we're hoping, October in theaters.
Yay. Well, we're happy for you. Thank you for coming on. This has been a great time to meet you and introduce you, Karen. I followed you for years and years and have reviewed some things you've done and love it. So we're just so honored to have you guys with us today.
Yeah. Amazing. And speaking of follow, how can people follow you? Do you have a website they can go to?
Yeah, definitely. KarenKingsbury.com. And you can follow me, Karen Kingsbury, on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter as well. How about you, Ty?
Yeah, my Instagram is it's Tyler Russell. So you can follow me there.
At the famous director, Tyler Russell. You can go on Instagram.
Yes, and we had him here on Faith on Film.
Yeah, we did. It was great, guys. Congratulations. We're excited for you, really. God bless you and everything you do. I love seeing that, Isaac. I love, as a mother of two sons, I can't imagine. I'd be so proud. You've raised your son. He's co-writing books with you. It's been his passion since he was little. He's writing books, and then he turns into a director who wants to direct your books that you've written together. I can't imagine how that would feel. I mean, how proud you must be.
I had hoped that would happen with me, but my son instead decided to go into the Army.
Yeah, and mine are doing other things as well.
No, I'm very proud of him. I'm still very proud of him. Well,
absolutely, Holly, we are.
We have run out of time, as we always do. These things just are so much fun that they fly like this, don't they? But we want to remind you folks to write us at faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. That's faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. And you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Faith on Film TV. And there's one more thing, a big favor that we want to ask of you, and that is, of course, for you to go to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
Do what, Holly?
All you have to do is click to subscribe.
That's right. And also, there's a little bell thing right there, a little bell button. If they hit that, they will be notified every time we load up some new shows. So hit that little bell button as well. All right. Well, Holly, that's it for today.
It goes quick. Bye, guys. Thank you for watching every week. God bless.
Bye-bye.